I'm Duncan Ferguson and you're watching Toffee TV.
Welcome to Toffee TV. It is me, Baz, here to do my instant match reaction after Bournemouth 0, Everton 2 in the FA Cup. We are in the quarter-final for the fourth time in 5 years, I believe. It was a bit of a weird game. I thought it was a little bit, at times, it was a little bit like a training exercise for Everton, especially in the first half in terms of passing it round. I suppose if you want to be hypercritical, you could say we were a little bit... we weren't as creative as what we normally are. We didn't really get going in the final third. They obviously made a lot of changes. Everton kept the same side, that had lost to West Bromwich Albion last week. The big news, of course, Omar Niasse on the bench for the first time. John Stones back on the bench. No Kone. Osman's still there though. That was the big changes obviously before the game, and then after that, the game started okay. Everton got into the normal passing game. Bournemouth couldn't really get near us, and we had that move after a couple of minutes where when Ross Barkley won the ball and played it into Lukaku, and he gave Ross it back, and he probably should have done better. He scuffed his shot, and then like you say, it was a bit of a training exercise for half an hour. They kind of come into it the last 15 minutes of the first half. I think we just didn't work hard enough when we didn't have the ball, and that was the theme for me, and I'm looking at that. I'm looking at Bournemouth and I'm thinking, okay, they've made 6 or 7 changes before the game, so they were bound to be a little bit disjointed. I mean, just on them changes, a bit of a mad one because it's the FA Cup 5th round at home, and you're Bournemouth, you're playing one game a week. And I get that, the Premier League's the be-all and end-all, of course it is, but, I don't know, I think if I'd have been Eddie Howe, I'd have played my strongest side. Anyway, enough about them. This is obviously an Everton show. And they kind of came back into it, and we'd get into good positions and we'd make the wrong choice. Ross a couple of times, the wrong choice. Lukaku, the only real thing he'd done in the first half was the one where he out-sprinted the kid down the line and cut back in. He was unlucky. Goalie makes a good save. If you're going to be hypercritical, he maybe could have hit it with his right foot or took another touch. But, he done enough. He got a shot away. The goalie made a good save. Other than that, we had Ross firing a couple over. Brian Oviedo trying to do the most incredible weird diving header thing from the edge of the box. Funes Mori almost getting on the end of a couple of corners. That was really it for Everton. Like I say, they came into it the last 15 minutes of the first half. Were awarded the penalty. James McCarthy, no clue what he was thinking. He'd already been booked as well, so you just don't know with this referee. You're running the risk that he sees that as deliberate handball and books you for it. I mean, personally, a penalty's enough, but he gave the penalty away, and for some reason, I just knew Joel would save it. I said to my dad, as I said, he'll save this, and lo and behold, he made a brilliant save, But the thing is, once he's made, which was a brilliant save, 3 or 4 of their players are first to the ball, and that's frustrating. Defensively, we've got to be better than that. We've got to be out there with them, to make sure that they didn't have a cheap tap in. But Joel kept us in it, half time, 0 each. And you look and thinking, okay, we've controlled the majority of the first half, but without looking threatening. Lennon worked his socks off, but didn't really get, put a couple of crosses that fizzed in, but nothing really great. Coleman was up and down. We had players who were running around. Lukaku, ironically, wasn't. I thought he was very, very poor compared to what he can do. So 0-0 at half time, and then you think we need to step this up a little bit. They came out and had a little bit of first flurry in the first 5 or 10 minutes maximum, and then that died off and it went back to training game again. And that man Ross Barkley, pulls the trigger, gets a slice of luck, of course. Lovely that it deflected off Gosling. That was beautiful. Dan Gosling still scoring important FA Cup goals for Everton. And it loops in and we're in front. And then from that moment on, yes, they had a header that Gosling should have done better with, and again, defensively, off set pieces. We've got to be better. No one should have a free header in the penalty area. Nobody. We've got to mark better. The one that they were going on the telly, you know, how unlucky they were, the free kick from Stanislaus. They were lucky that it caused Joel any problems because it was a back pass that was going straight to. It hits Lukaku and wrong foots him and it just drops the wrong side of the post. Other than that, they done nothing, did they? Let's be honest. You know, and like I say, they made changes, so they were bound to be disjointed. Everton, you know, we got the second goal, Lukaku, in the right place at the right time. That's what I want to see him do. I want to see him scoring those kind of goals, tap-ins from 5 or 6 yards out. That's where he will get, you know, a lot of goals in this side, you know, and it's important that you have centre-forwards who are in those areas. And I personally have been critical of him for not being in them areas enough. But he was there tonight, you know, when he fired in his 21st goal of the season and put us into the quarter-finals of the Cup. You know, it was a well-taken goal from where he was. He'd already had one ruled offside, which looked a little bit touch and go. But I just don't think he played very well tonight, Lukaku. I mean, Martin Keown, ironically and unbelievably, all in the same sentence, gave him man of the match. And it was almost like, you know that thing on FIFA, when the last player who scores the goal in the game, he gets man of the match. So if you know, whoever scores, you might win 5-0 and the kid that always got the last goal seemed to get man of the match. As if they had no other way to work it out other than he scored late. I think that was in Keown's mind. He just went, Lukaku scored the last goal. Lukaku man of the match. Because he was not man of the match by any stretch of the imagination. There was players like Gareth Barry, Phil Jagielka, Joel, even Aaron Lennon. Those kind of players. Done a lot more than Lukaku. But Ron done what he's paid to do. Was put the ball in the net. And there's really not much more to say. I mean, we got to see a little bit of Kevin Morales come on and done a couple of nice little touches. You know, what Kev can do. You know, we know he's got ability. We've just got to find a way into this side. We see Omar Nias ran around a little bit. Didn't really get a chance to see him. Didn't create anything for him or get him running at them. He came on and we just played keep ball like Everton tend to do. But, you know, it's another victory on the road. This is the real conundrum for Roberto Martinez. You know, for me, if he's going to remain the Everton manager, because we have a way of playing away from home, and the possession game is really, really good. But we are good on the counter attack. We can be fast and we can be penetrative with the likes of Ross Barkley, Lukaku, Aaron Lennon, Delafeu when he's in the side. Morales will offer us that. Hopefully, Nias will offer us that. But that good doesn't when teams come like West Greenwich Albion did last week and sit with everyone behind them. I mean, Reading have put 3 past them today, for God's sake. Reading, something you do when you pick a book up, only it's pronounced differently. I've scored 3 goals past them today. I wonder if Ben Foster will tweet about keeping shots out of his net this week. Probably not, but that's a different story. But that's what Everton have got. That's the conundrum he's got. And he's got to prove to us as fans that he knows how to do that. Because for me, until Ross scored, the second half was a mismatch. There was just gaps all over the pitch. We didn't look like we were balanced. We didn't look like we were cohesive. We just looked like Everton, just passy, but no real intent to go anywhere. And that for me is when he's got to make those changes. He's got to look at it and be able to go, McCarthy, you've been booked and you're doing nothing. You come and sit with me. We put Cleverly in, we'll put Morales on and we'll go for it. Yes, we got the goal and the goal changed it, of course it did. And Romilly put it in. So I am being picky. The only thing that matters in the FA Cup is that we get through. Of course it does. And, you know, we could have played garbage and won 1-0 and I would be delighted. I'm delighted we're in the quarter-final. I know we're very good away from home, but I want Reading at home. That's what I want. I want Reading at home or Blackburn. Blackburn to beat the Eppie Emmers. And we'll get either of those 2 sides at Goodison Park. And let's get a trip to Wembley going. Because, yes, we are good away from home, but you know, for me, I want to see us playing at home and getting into the semi-finals at Wembley. Final word really on Joel. Another game, another clean sheet, another crucial save, another victory. You know, Roberto Martinez has come out and kind of indicated now that he's got the jersey until the end of the season. That's how it looks. So he didn't quite say that. He said he's the number 1 at the moment. And obviously that moment can change at any time. But again, he come in. He's made a massive save from the penalty spot. He's come and claimed a couple of great crosses that were fizzed across his box. If I want to be real critical on him, it's the only thing I would say is that the Josh King header near the end, he should have done better. Yes, he put King off, but he should have wiped them out. he should have just absolutely destroyed them. But then again, with Atkinson referee, he'd have probably give a penalty and sent Joel off or something berserk like he likes to do. So basically, we're through to the quarter-final. That was all that mattered. That was the maximum requirement really today. Playing well would have been, playing superbly, it wouldn't have made any difference. The only thing that matters today is that we are in the last 8 of the FA Cup. I personally want a home draw. I understand everybody who is saying they want away draws. I personally want us to be drawn at home against Blackburn or Reading. Obviously, if West Ham beat Blackburn tomorrow, I don't want West Ham. But you know, we are into the last 8, and that's a positive thing. We now go away on warm weather training like they deserve it. And then we prepare for Aston Villa away in the next Premier League match. And if we don't win that 4-0, I will be fuming, given the other show I put 6 past them. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you happy with the performance? Are you any other comments you want to make? Are you just delighted that we've got through? Can we go on and win the FA Cup? Of course we can. We were 14-1 before today. Possibly should have threw some money on it. But 21 years since we last won a trophy. It's about time we broke that duck, because it's grim. It's pathetic. Give us a little subscribe up here. Don't forget to give us a follow on Twitter at Toffee TV1. Like us on Facebook and all that jazz. And I will be back for the player ratings video, which will be quick. And me and Ped are recording the final word tomorrow, and I've had an invasion by me lad. It's okay, mate. We're recording the final word. We're recording the final word tomorrow, when we'll be going into much more detail. But from me, Baz, we are in the quarterfinals, and I'll catch you next time on Toffee TV.